So we're going to be checking out a video from the Good Brother Philip Scott podcast. It is Crying Van Jones claims some mysterious black men said they will protect VP Kamala Harris. Kamala, so apparently saying her name other than what they call her. They call her Kamala. But if you say Kamala, then you're being racist. That's kind of one of the things that they're claiming. Her whole run is just based on race, and she's not black whatsoever in any way. But let's see what the brother got to say.
Well, tonight on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, your good friend Van Jones, the one that cries for every single thing with the Democrat Party. He cries when they elected. He cries when they buy out. He is the most cryingest man I ever seen in my life, black man in particular. I've never seen a black man cry as much as Van Jones. But Van Jones is coming on CNN talking tough, but really talking tough about black men. And I wasn't a part of this, particular conversation. Maybe some of you were, and you could fill me in. But Van Jones is saying that black men was saying that supposedly black men are supposed to protect Vice President Kamala Harris. Let's go ahead and roll that.
Assaulting black women, you're going to see something you haven't seen before. Black men are not going to put up with that. I was on a phone call with 20,000 black men. The word protect came up about 1,000 times. Protect this sister. Protect this sister. We're going to protect her. Protect her. You're about to see something you haven't seen before.
So, on a phone call with 20,000 so-called black men, and someone else said they were on a phone call with 44,000 black women. What is this a talking point? Is this a talking point? We just gonna start right here. What is this? It just seems weird to me.
Look, people messed around with Hillary Clinton and said a bunch of mean stuff to her. Black men set that out. We won't set this out. So I don't think that the Republican Party understands that all the work that they did trying to get us over there, two more days of this, it's going to be a problem.
Well, Van, let me get this straight. So these so-called black men you spoke to, I don't know who they are.
I don't know either.
They supposed to protect Vice President Kamala Harris from what? Number one, criticism? People gonna call you names in the public eye. People call me names all the time. You understand what I'm saying? When you do anything publicly, people gonna call you names. They could bring up something you did, you said, your record thing. People do that mess. That's just what they do, right? So protect her from work. What? You can't protect her from words from other people because we supposedly supposed to have a freedom of speech. She's walking around with the United States Secret Service. You can't really get no more protected than that. Well, unless you're Donald Trump, then that's a different story. But she's walking around with the United States Secret Service. So what more protection do she need than that? She supposedly got her husband, Doug. He's supposed to protect her, right? Why is it black men, supposedly black men, responsible to protect her? What you mean, protect her from criticism of what she's done? Because that's the only thing I have really seen, that if black men bring up something, they're bringing up her record, they're bringing up her stance on things, and that's something that we all can do is have discussion. But what do you mean by protection? Now, check this out. Let's go back to her husband, Doug. You know who's being nasty and vile to her? White men. I haven't seen no brothers get on here. I'm talking about a bunch of black men being nasty and vile to Vice President Kamala Harris. I haven't seen it. I even said that, hey, don't we get engaging in that about her? I said it. I said, let's bring up, her record. Let's bring up her policies that she has now with Joe Biden. Let's bring up all of that stuff. Like we just talked about Matrice Richardson last night and how she failed the family of Matrice Richardson, how she basically let the cops off of the hook in the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. She did all that, right? This is what she did. So we can go on her record alone and deal with what she has done. We don't have to, as black people, be nasty. We don't have to. Now, when she's sitting up here trying to cosplay a black American, that's another thing that we got to sit up here and have a conversation about. You're not going to try to put her on our lineage. That's just not going to happen. She got to be truthful to her lineage and where she at and where she come from. And the people that she's done things to, like Matrice Richardson, is from the soil. When it came to protection, why didn't Kamala Harris protect Matrice Richardson and do something about that situation? Why are you asking black men who this woman has never prioritized to protect her from what? I keep asking from what, Van Jones? 2 more.
So this is a season right now. It is July 2024. And I think black men in particular, they're going to be under attack. You have to stand strong and understand what's really going on. They're gonna make you try to make you feel guilty. They're gonna use it through the women, all women, and in particular the black women, because those are the ones that are closest to us. We just have to stand strong. We just have to do what makes sense. And when you go to the polls, you have to vote what makes sense. Kamala Harris does not make sense when you go to the polls. It's just, she shouldn't even be there. She shouldn't even be vice president. She just shouldn't. She is a DEI hire. Now, when the Democrats talk about DEI, they talk about it as a good thing. You know, everybody needs a fair shot, this, that, and the other. But if you're not a Democrat and you say she's a DEI hire, oh, you're being racist. You're being misogynistic. You're being all of these things. But you hire her because she was a DEI hire. And your former president, even though he's still in office, Joe Biden said he was going to hire a woman. He didn't specify race or anything else. But he said he was going to hire a woman. That's DEI right there. In the first place. Because wouldn't you say, or maybe you don't even have to say, it should be implied that you will hire the best person for the job based on their merit. But no, he came out and said he will hire a woman. I mean, that's what he said. We got video evidence of that. If I was good at editing or even better at editing, I would plug that right here, but I'm not. So he said he would hire a woman. He said he would hire the first black woman on the Supreme Court. How about I would appoint the most qualified person? I don't give a fuck who it is, the color, none of that. Put that person there and they do the job. Because when you get into these identity politics, it really doesn't move us forward. It actually moves us backwards. It actually moves us backwards. And because the way that you look, you didn't ask to look this way. You didn't ask to be this way. What are you going to do for this nation? And in particular, what you going to do for the black community? Kamala Harris came out and said, I'm not going to do nothing specifically for the black community. And she was all saucy and sassy. She was like, she was just like that with that. There's video evidence out there. Go look it up. So for those of you, and she hasn't even put out any policies. She's not even confirmed at this point. What is this, July 27th? At this point, she's not confirmed to be the nominee. They said she got the delegates, this, that, and the other. I know there are some that disagree, blah, blah, blah. But at this point, today, July 27th, she's not the confirmed nominee. And then you got people coming out, I'm going to vote for her because she need to be the first. And nothing annoys me more than the first black this, the first black that. That doesn't move us forward. It just does not. What it does is you all have bought into the idolatry because this person looks a certain way. It's just cosmetics. And this woman is not black. She's not black at all.
4 days of what? These white men in particular, they're gonna be on her butt like white on rice, just like they were in Hillary Clinton. Why would they treat her any different than Hillary Clinton? Of course, they're gonna treat her a lot worse. I mean, we know that. But if they did that to Hillary Clinton and she was a white woman like them, why do you think she's going to get a pass from them either? You know what I'm saying? And she gonna probably get a little worse than Hillary Clinton because of the record that she has with Joe Biden, because she's attached to Joe Biden. She can't separate herself from Joe Biden. It's the Biden-Harris administration. It is not like she's coming in and she had nothing to do with the policies of Joe Biden. You understand? So what you mean by, no, it is not black men. You talking about that basically what we gonna do? Oh, you know what? We're gonna go out and vote Kamala Harris because we don't like what these people saying about her. Man, no. She is not gonna get black men support like that. I know this. Listen, let me tell you something. I had someone tell me yesterday, call me on my phone, and that there was a brother on the city council in Houston that was talking to this person and saying, man, I don't know what we gonna do about black men. He said, because black men, they are not gonna vote for her. They're gonna sit this out. What can we do to change this? Because the city council member was very nervous about that because they know that black men is not gonna come out and vote. And listen, Houston, Harris County is a Democrat. It really is very, very strong Democrat. And they know that black men is not going to come out and vote for her like that. So if that's the conversation they're having behind the scenes. So Van, I don't know what you're talking about. And Van, see, you doing things like propaganda. Okay. And I get it, because propaganda, a lot of it's lying. I get it. But you're going to have a rude awakening in November when no one comes out and the numbers you're expecting. Yeah, it's going to be a small condensed